many of your faces. Again, this is just like the most exciting thing. If you were here last time, who was here for the last boot camp? Let me know in the chat. I just get extremely overwhelmed by how excited I am to actually see faces because I do this all the time in a live setting, but it's just me and the camera. So when I can actually see you guys in a Zoom call, it's just crazy. Also, about 10 seconds before we went live, I began the hiccups. So I'm not really sure how the next few minutes are gonna go, but I'm just gonna apologize in advance if that becomes an issue. Ooh, hi from El Salvador.
I'm from El Salvador.
Julio's from El Salvador. Julio's here. Is this you?
Yeah.
Is your other name Hector?
Yes.
Okay.
My cousin.
It's your cousin?
Yeah.
Fantastic. Naples, Poland. James was here last time. Ontario. I'm so glad that you are all here. I'm seeing all kinds of names and faces that I've never seen before, and I think we've got a couple Singeo members. I see Lee's here and Megan's here. Who am I missing? There's a lot of faces, so I'm gonna miss things. Mike's here. Okay, so just a couple ground rules before we begin. We've got an hour together. I want to help you sound better when you sing. So we've got a lot of ground to cover. And there's a few things I wanted you to know. So we're going to talk a little bit. I wrote down a list of things for myself so I stay organized, focused. We're going to talk about your voice, how it works, how you can improve it, and how you can understand it better. And there are going to be a few occasions throughout the session where I'm actually going to call on you specifically. So if you would like to volunteer at some point, not right now, but if I call out for volunteers, you can press the little reactions button and there's like a raise hand option. I'm never going to just call out random names that aren't volunteering. So I never want any of you to feel like, oh my gosh, what if I get called on? It's not going to happen. But if you choose to volunteer to be one of my subjects today, we'll be able to move you over into the Zoom call, hear you, and we can actually maybe work with your voice a little bit today. So I won't have time to do that with everyone, but I'll be selecting volunteers at random throughout this live stream. So here's the first thing I want to know is, have any of you had formal vocal training or voice lessons before? Yes or no? I'm seeing a lot of heads say nope. Nope, nope. Oh, okay, no, this is great. A little no. Okay, so what level of a singer would you consider yourself to be? Like 1 being, I'm terrible, and 5 being, I perform on a stage, and people liked the way I sound. -8. Okay, this is awesome. This is awesome. Okay, this is so great. There's gonna be so much for all of us to learn no matter what level that you're at. I was a singer when I first began vocal training, but I actually knew almost nothing about my voice. And I was shocked by how much I didn't know and how much this information helped me to actually be the singer that I wanted to be. So we're all at different levels and stages in our singing journey, but the fundamentals are always the same. A couple things that I wrote them down. I was checking our Facebook group. You guys specifically, the specific group, identified some struggles. So nerves, fear, not wanting or liking the sound of hearing your voice played back, struggles with pitch, knowing if you're on pitch, power, and breaks, flips, and cracks. So if I'm missing anything and you're like, something different, throw it in the chat. I'm keeping an eye on it. And we'll try to address all of those things today. So, friends, I spent thousands of dollars to figure out how my voice worked in private voice lessons. And I'm going to tell you right now, understanding how your voice works can change the entire landscape of how you sound when you sing. So, does anybody know where their voice is? Where does it come from? I'm watching the screen. I'm seeing if anybody can show me, or you can put it in the chat. Yeah. I see some. Yeah, Zolita's got it. Heather, you guys. Yeah, here. Your vocal cords live inside your larynx, and your larynx lives right here. And so that's very interesting that you mentioned this, Melanie. Diaphragm. So your diaphragm's down here, like by your belly, where you breathe. And while that engages when we sing, we don't actually even need to think about it. I'm going to talk about that in a minute, but your vocal cords live here. And the way we create sound is air passes through the vocal cords, setting them into motion. They vibrate really, 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 really fast. And then those sound waves bounce around in your throat and your mouth and create the sounds that we hear. And it's as simple as that. So when you sing, you're in control of 3 things. And I'm going to see if anybody knows what these 3 things are. If you're a Singeo member or you're at the last one, you don't get an answer. Shh. But for the newbies here, what are the 3 things you're in control of when you sing? Any ideas? David, yes. Breath. You're in control of pitch, placement. I'm saying some good things here. Placement, volume, and posture, placement, volume, and pitch are all like secondaries that result from, same with tone, breath, vocal cords, and shape. That's it. As a singer, those are the 3 main things. The only things you really need to worry about: your breath, your vocal cords, and your shape. And everything else is a secondary. So get those things in order and you're gonna be on the road to success. So it's easier said than done, of course. But I think one of the biggest misconceptions about the voice has to do with the breath. So I want to start there with you guys today. We're actually gonna sing together. So a lot of people tell me you have to sing from the diaphragm, you have to really sing with your breath, provide like support. You don't. So everybody, we're gonna do this together right now. I want you to say, hey. I'm watching you, I can see if you're doing it. Okay, now pretend like there's a puppy, it's on the road, there's a car coming, and you have to say, hey, loud enough to save the puppy, because as soon as it hears you, it's gonna run off the road and everything's gonna be okay. How are you gonna say hey? Hey! Do it. Use your imaginations. Yeah, I'm seeing some good faces. So this is telling me you guys know how to make sound, and you know the right amount of breath that is required to create that sound. So none of you were like, I should really provide enough breath here, or I should probably shout this from my diaphragm. No, you knew what to do. Congratulations, we're all born. If you're living here, you've been born and you know how to breathe. It's just part of the human experience. So let's practice how we can use that when we're actually singing. So here's one thing we can do. So breathing isn't about pushing. It's not about really anything other than providing the right amount of air. So everybody, we're gonna hiss together. I want you to all go like a snake. And I want you to do it, we'll do it 2 different ways. If you don't feel ridiculous enough, this is just the beginning, I promise. We're gonna do weirder stuff. So I want you to hiss quietly. Lots of air, get out. You'll notice you run out of air really fast. Okay, now add a lot more resistance. So close your mouth more and try to keep that hiss like really intense. You can go for much longer. Are you noticing that? And do you notice how it feels in your core? It like engages a little bit, like, ooh, I need a little bit of that, those core stabilizer muscles to make that sound. That is how you provide supported breath. So you're not over providing, but you're engaging your core just a little bit. So I never want it to be from a place of tension. If you tense up, you're getting nowhere. But just imagine how that hiss felt. And that's the stance that we want to take when we're singing. It can make the world of a difference. Yeah, Sandy, that makes my face turn red too. And it's one of the number 1 things we do in the Singeo method. Right at the beginning, if you're in the members area, you're gonna be hissing along with me just to help you get the feel for it. So the reason that one of the most important vocal exercises is this one, is because it requires breath control, essentially. So this is an exercise that if you don't have enough air, this will happen. You won't get anywhere with it. So you have to have just the right resistance at the lips and just enough breath here. So I want to teach you all to do this. Yes, James, good. I'm glad you're doing this. Take your fingers, place them on your cheeks, right kind of where your teeth are. Nice. Okay, and now we're just gonna blow bubbles. You don't have to put a sound on it yet. Like a horse, or like you're blowing bubbles in the water. Does that work for you all? This is really hard to do for some people. Oh, puppies love that. Sandy, my dog goes crazy when I practice the bubble too. He jumps on me. Okay, so I see this is good. Now see if you can put a sound on it. It's hard. Can anybody not do it? Dawn. Okay, I'm watching you, Dawn. I've got you on the screen. So what I want you to do, well, you're not on the screen, but I can see you from where I am. So I want you to think really relax at your jaw, and I want you to think about energy. So Just get a short one in. You can't smile or it doesn't work. That's why this is the worst exercise of them all. Let's, Dawn, would you like to come onto the screen and be a demonstrator? If you don't want to, give me a thumbs down. We got a thumbs up. Okay, so Julia's gonna move you over because so many people struggle with the bubble at the beginning. And I may not be able to get Dawn bubbling just yet, but I think by watching Dawn, we're gonna learn better faster. I'm gonna put these on so I can hear her. Hey, Dawn.
Hi.
Hi. Oh, I can barely hear you. Is it because my headphones that I can barely hear her?
No, hang on just a second. Sometimes
there you are.
is a little bit of a short.
That's all good. That's perfect. Okay, so here's what I want you to do. I want you to go back to the hiss. Okay, that was perfect. You do that well. Okay, so now I want you to go brrr. Okay, good. You almost had it there. So you've got just to take some of the weight off your bottom lip. So that's what the fingers are meant to do. So just gently, teeny bit of a lift here. Yes! I know, it's so weird.
I can't make a sound. I can do the bubble, but I can't make a sound.
Okay, so practice just doing a bubble without a sound. You got this. Okay, so now we're gonna make a sound, but we're gonna let go of it being a coherent or cohesive or pretty sound in any way. Just like whatever comes out. So go any pitch, anywhere you want. Yes! Okay, do this. Hey, you got a nice voice. Okay, go ba. Good. You had it.
Almost.
You had it. And the only thing that stopped at the end was you pulled back instead of just gently lifting it up. And you also just stopped providing it with the air that it needed to keep going. But you got it. That's how you do it. So I'm going to suggest you keep working on this because once you have it, you'll be till the cows come home. It'll be perfect.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Thanks for being a volunteer, Dawn. That was awesome. You got a beautiful voice. So we're going to have some fun today. All right, so this is the bubble, friends. For those of you that can bubble, we're gonna bubble together. We're gonna warm up our voices a little bit, and if you struggle with the bubble, just hum. So here we go. Let's start here, and we're just gonna do. And if you have a low voice, you can sing down here. Here we go. This can be loud. It's big energy. It might tickle your face. It might make you want to rip your nose off. Two more. We did it, friends. Now, for the sake of time, we're going to stop that there, but that little exercise is a great thing to include in your daily routine. After this boot camp, we're actually going to send you some piano skills that you can sing and practice that along with. That's going to be really, really good for you. Oh, my nose are just like crazy. I can't even handle it. Nice. I'm glad that it's easier this time, Nicole. Okay, so the breath is one of the 3 things we can control, and the bubble is a great way to practice that. So if you're ever singing a song, the bubble is a great way to just like build good breathing habits on it. Right? So that's a great way to sneak a practice. And if you're busy, you're in the car, the radio's playing, you got your playlist of songs you love, just bubble along. You'll be warming up and working on your pitch and your phrasing and your breathing in a song that you love. There's a hot tip for you. Okay, so without fingers, with fingers, either way doesn't really make a difference. Some people just this helps, so it's not a bad thing. Just use that if that's helpful. Okay, let's talk about our vocal cords. Okay, so vocal cords, this is really cool. So your vocal cords are so teeny tiny that they're like smaller than the tips of your pinky fingernails. Okay, so they vibrate together here. They live in your larynx, they attach at the front, they live in your larynx right here. And when air passes through them, they vibrate. Now, in order for us to create sound, every time they come apart, they need to come back together. If they don't, this happens. Like it doesn't, that's the vocal cords apart. You get nothing. If they're too compressed, like this, you can't, there's nothing passing through them, so you don't get any sound. So it's always about finding this really good balance of breath. You need enough breath to cause them to vibrate, not so much that it blows them apart, and enough strength to resist that breath so you can get ah. And that's how that works. And this is where a lot of the work has to happen as singers, is we have to learn how to coordinate. This is all done with muscles, muscle function, muscle coordination. But understanding that if I have too much breath, I'm gonna blow those little babies apart. It's like having a candle in a windstorm. They're so small, they can't hold up against all the breath that your body is capable of providing. And if you get tight or tense, they're gonna do this, and you're not going to be able to have a nice vibration and a nice balanced sound. So we can actually talk about vibrato a little bit later, but one of the things that you can do just to practice getting those vocal cords coming together is this. It's terrible. We're gonna stick our tongues out and we're gonna go, ah, 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 ah. Megan knew. Megan's like, I know where she's going with this one. So I call it the ugly ah. And so it's just a short staccato sound. It causes the cords to come together. And for those of you who have really quiet or light breathy voices, this is awesome. For those of you who are tight and tense voices, keeping that tongue down and forward is gonna really, really help prevent tension. Not shouting, not too light. We just want ah, 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 ah. So let's do some of those together. Ah, 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 ah. You can stick your tongue out. Ah, 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 ah. But keep it relaxed. Ah, 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 ah. Ah, 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 ah. It's kind of like a bratty sound. Ah, 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 ah. Two more. Ah, 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 ah. I lied, one more. Ah, 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 ah. Vocal coach's famous last words. One more time, just one more time. Okay, one more time. Okay, so that's a little exercise you can do to just like work on those vocal cords, work on that connection. And then the other thing that I want to talk about with you before we start working with some of your voices and talking about songs is like our actual vocal problems. So, every singer has sort of like a tendency. So I want you guys to kind of see, we're going to help you identify your unique type, but I want you guys to kind of listen and see which one of these singer types you think you are. So we have some singers that have very light breathy sounds like, wise men say, might even sound like opera-ish. Only fools rush. But you have trouble getting really powerful sound. You're really light and you're lacking in power. I call that no chest voice. And so this is another little point we need to talk about here. Has anybody heard the term chest voice or head voice? Yeah. Well, you only have one voice, so that's the good news. You got one voice, but the chest voice and head voice thing is something that kind of refers to where you feel the sound in your body. And as a singer, that's really all you have to work with. Like, I can go like, oh, here's C, plunk. Oh, here's some black keys, and below that, there's F, plunk. But with the voice, it's all in here. It's all feelings. So we have to use words to describe how we use our voice, because how else are we gonna know? And that's where these terms, head voice and chest voice, kind of came from. Because when you sing low, everybody hand on your chest and go, ah, nice and low. You're gonna maybe feel it vibrate down here. Ah, and there's a certain set of muscles that likes to engage when we're singing in our chest voice. Ah, and if you put your hand on the top of your head, maybe your forehead, and like pretend you're cheering at a sports game and go like, woo, woo, you might feel it in the front of your face. You might feel it on the top of your head. That's why it's referred to as head voice. Chest voice, head voice. When you sing low, you may feel it here. As you sing higher, you might feel it here. Now, the goal, friends, is to be able to sing from the bottom of your range to the top of your range without flipping or cracking or losing power. And if you can do that, it means you're appropriately engaging these muscles here, appropriately gradually handing them off to your head voice so that nothing disastrous happens. Yeah. Mixed voice, belting, falsetto. So I can do something like, I will not keep going because I'm going to save your ears. But there was no, right? That didn't happen. I didn't get really shouty. I was able to negotiate that pretty well because I've done a lot of practicing. So that's where we get the term no chest voice. It's when you struggle to engage these muscles and you're really light and breathy. Do any of you feel like that's you? Okay, I'm seeing some nodding. I'm seeing a nod from Heather. I'm going to test some of you out after this. I'm seeing from Dawn just to see if this lines up. Sometimes Megan, when Megan came to us at Singeo, we had not a chest voice happening at all, and now she's like, boom, there's her voice. It's all the power. It's amazing. Okay, so the other type. We call this type the like the chest puller. So you're real strong and you're like, wise men say, but as you get higher in your range, it tenses and tenses until you kind of get shouty and then there's nothing. I see a nod from Lee. I see Lee going, hey, this could be me. Lee is a Singeo member, so I can confirm that, oh yeah, I see a wave from Sandy. I can confirm that that's something that Lee has been developing and it's going well. So that's that's what we would call that type. So chest puller, you're pulling that chest voice up and then you kind of lose out. And that was actually me when I was learning to sing. And then there's the flipper. So it's kind of like a chest puller, but it's like you're fine, but you flip a lot. Wise men say only fools rush in at a point. Does any of you feel like that could be you? You kind of flip and crack a bit. I'm seeing something, maybe a little bit here and there. And then we've got our blenders, the lucky blenders. And you're the ones who are able to kind of sing from your low notes to your high notes, and you rarely kind of have a problem. Maybe you wish you had better tone or a little more power, but for the most part, you can kind of blend through your range pretty well. And the cool thing about these tendencies is that you can have more than one. You can change between them, and they can all be remedied and developed. So we have specific routines inside of Singeo for each of these vocal types. So we've got the exercises, an explanation of what's happening in your voice. Those are all there for you. But I want to help you all figure out what your type is. There's an exercise that we can do that's going to really quickly reveal what your tendency is. So I'm just going to demonstrate them all really quick one more time. And then we're going to sing through this exercise together. And then I'm going to take some volunteers and we can talk about your unique type. So we're going to sing a 5-tone ah. It's going to sound like this. Ah. So you want to start connected. Ah. And it's not it's ah. Like the cutest puppy you've ever seen. Ah. Now, if you have a struggle finding your chest voice, it might sound like this at the beginning. Ah. Okay? So if that's you, make sure you're kind of getting into that note, digging in a bit. And then we'll talk about the tens too as we go. So everybody, are you ready? And if you're a low voice, you can sing down an octave. Here we go. Ah. Ah. Very good, Zyla. I like it. I like it. Ah. Ah. At some point here, you might feel it's kind of starting to get wobbly, maybe. For some of you, there might be a sudden loss of power. I'm going to demonstrate what that might sound like here. Keep going. Ah, that would be a flip. Ah, right? That could happen. Or maybe it's all soft now. Ah, and you've lost your chest voice completely. Or maybe you're doing this. Ah, that would be you're pulling your chest puller. And at some point, this is going to fall apart miserably and you're going to laugh and you're going to stop singing, and that's the whole point. Maybe you're blending. Maybe I've got this. Oh, it's so hard to do this exercise well. 2 more. For those of you who are still hanging in there, this is amazing. Okay, I don't know if that's 2 more. I'm going to do 1 more, then it'll put me on C. It'll feel nice and even. Nice. All right, how did that go for everyone? Put in the chat if you think you're a chest puller, no chest voice. I'm still a man. If you're a flipper, a blender. All right, yeah. Would anybody like to volunteer? Is anybody curious about what they are and like me to assess? If so, you got to put the hands up button on. And I will select one of you. Okay, let's go with Marg. Marg, you're up. So Julia's going to move you over, Marg. Marge or Marg? Did I get that right or wrong? I don't know. You can tell me in a second. Julia's going to move you over and we're going to do that exercise together. There's so much we can learn from listening to other people sing. Ooh, I hear things.
Hello.
Ooh. Hold on. I got some crazy noises. Maybe some interference? It sounds like the ocean. Can you guys hear that too? Yeah, there. Everybody's hearing it. We might have something funny happening with your mic.
It might be this thing.
Oh, do you have a fan on? Oh, we lost you. You have a lovely ceiling, though. I got nothing from you yet. Oh, Mark's gone. Oh, no. Oh!
There I am. Sorry, I unplugged the... All right.
I got a lot of white noise coming from you.
Yeah, it's the computer fan.
Oh, the computer fan. Okay. All right, well, we'll sing through this as best we can. So I'm going to get you just to do this. It's not supposed to be pretty. Your turn. Nice, strong start. Keep going. Here's your note. Keep going. Awesome. Keep going. This is awesome. We might have a blender here, friends. There's your note. There's a transition. This is where things want to get crunchy.
Oh, right there.
Okay, this is awesome. Okay, I'm gonna get, no, actually I'm not getting bad sound right now. So everyone, what we have here is a blender, but we also have a little bit of some coordination struggles as we approach the transition. And the transitions where the voice naturally, you know when you're driving a car and you gotta switch gears? I don't know, has anybody driven a standard before? Yeah, and it's like things are gonna get crunchy here, friends, if we don't shift. That's what a transition's like. So we kind of have to shift gears, and it's coordination. It's like the first few times you drive standard, it's usually like you stall the car, right? At least in my personal experience. So for you, I would say that we want to work on exercises that encourage sort of like a neutrality through your range. So for you, I would call you a blender. So if you were inside the Singeo membership, it would be the exercises specifically for blenders. But a really good one that we could do just to mess with this right now is starting low to gain some traction and singing something a little bit neutral. Buh, say buh for me, like kind of dopey.
Buh.
Yeah,
Buh.
so when you go buh, 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 buh.
Buh, 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 buh.
I loved it. Give me a little more energy on top. Buh, 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 buh.
Buh, 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 buh.
Yeah, one more. Buh, 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 buh.
Buh, 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 buh.
How'd that sound and feel?
Better.
Yeah, that was fantastic. Okay, thank you for demonstrating. I'm gonna tell you all some stuff now because we can learn a lot from this little demonstration. So, what ends up happening as you go through your range, if you're finding that you've got balance or you're strong enough, but then you suddenly lose power, there's a few things that could be happening. Number one, your larynx, you could be tensing, and then the larynx creeps up and up and up and up and up, and suddenly your body's like, oh, it's time to swallow. Because put your hand here and swallow, everyone. What happens? You feel it? Your larynx is gonna go bloop bloop, up and down. So that's his primary responsibility. Your vocal cords' first job is not to sing beautifully, it's to save your breathing system from your pizza. It's to prevent food from getting into your windpipe. So when you go to swallow, your vocal cords are like, zip, we're closing. Nothing's getting through here. And if that's the case, we already know what's gonna happen. We're not gonna be able to make pretty sound. So we wanna prevent that from happening. So if you put your hand here and go, your larynx is gonna come down a little bit, it just balances it a bit. So if you sing a word like buh, 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 it encourages that neutral, slightly lowered larynx. So if we were to sing this together, buh, 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 try another one with me. Bu, 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 bu. You might find that you don't feel so much tension. Bu, 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 bu. And you're able to get a little more oomph on the higher notes. Bu, 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 bu. One more. Bu, 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 bu. That's one of my favorite exercises of all time to play with because it really helps to keep that larynx balanced so you can sing without tension. And that's part of being able to sing without feeling hurt or tight or tense through here. Now, if you're of the opposite, if you're like, that was balanced. So if you're struggling a little bit and you're too powerful, too strong, we're gonna go the other way. We're gonna narrow our shape and we're gonna go to something like ooh. So maybe we do this. Woof, 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 woof. We're gonna try that. It's so silly, but try it. Woof, 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 woof. And suddenly everything feels free and light. Woof, 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 woof. Couple more. Woof, 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 woof. Two more. Woof, 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 woof. Woof, 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 woof. So if you're experiencing tension and you're tight and you need to relax that a little bit, the woof, the ooh, the narrowness can really, really help with that freedom and that release. Oh man, friends, this is like a turbo speed crash course on how your voice works. I promise in the Singeo method, we go through this really step by step and really slowly and walk you through all of the assessments. I promise, I promise. So here's what I want to do now with you guys. We've established that you're in control of three things. Anybody quickly type it in. This is a pop quiz. What are they? 3 things. Give me the 3 things. Do, 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 do. Do, 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 do. Vocal cords, breath, and shape. Megan, you know that. Okay, those are the things you're in charge of. So something is going amiss. Chances are you need to check in with the breath, so sing the bubble on the song or whatever it is you're doing. The vocal cords, make sure that you're not tensing, that they're coming together. We've got that b or the who or some ahs to help with that. And now we're gonna look at the shape. And this is what gets me the most excited because this is where our singing actually transforms. Okay, so where's my vowel chart? Do we have it in here? Is the vowel chart in here anywhere? It may or may not be in here, but while we're working on the vowel chart, so if I sing a song like this, I'll do the hallelujah again. I heard there was a secret chord that David played and it pleased the Lord. I'm not really opening my mouth much. It's not gonna sound very good. This is like the #1 thing for people like, I sound terrible when I sing. The shapes you make will influence your sound. Because if you just hear an isolated, like the vocal sound of your chords vibrating without any shape, it sounds like a dying duck kind of. It's terrible sound. Where you get the tone and the texture and the shape and the sound is from your throat and your mouth. That's where the sound is bouncing around, creating the qualities that you hear later. Oh, there it is. You found it. It's there. Oh, there's 2 of them. We have so many of these. So if you open your mouth, thank you. If you open your mouth when you sing, notice the difference already. I heard there was a secret chord that David played and it pleased the Lord. But you don't really care for music, do ya? Big difference right there. Okay? So the shapes we make will influence the sound. And this is where the real magic happens. It's gonna be kind of hard to see this. I think we're gonna send you a download of this too. Right, Julio? Maybe? We'll find one. We'll send it to you. It's all good. We got you. Okay. Okay. There. Yeah. Is this like wild or what, friends? The main thing that you need to know here is that wide vowels like ah and ah encourage, again, this is so hard, it's mirrored, chest voice. And the narrow vowels, ooh and e, encourage head voice. So if you're struggling to get a strong sound, if you're singing, I heard there was, you might want to widen it. I heard there was. And if you're singing, it goes like this, the 4th, the 5th, it's getting tight, narrow it. It goes, ooh shape, goes like this, the 4th, the 5th. These little things will influence the strength of which you're able to sing, the tension levels, the sound quality. So I want to demonstrate some of these ideas with a real person. So I want one of you to sing for me. If your hand's up, I might grab ya. Okay, I see Melanie waving. So let's get Melanie in here. And we're going to have Melanie just sing one line of something. And then we're going to look at the shapes that they're making. Yeah, E's really... Oh, hi, Melanie.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm really good. I had some coffee and this flavored water, and I feel great. Feel ready for the day. So, can you sing a line of something? It could be hallelujah. It could be anything. Just give me like a teeny little snippet of a song, and then we'll mess with it a bit.
Okay. I heard there was a secret chord.
That was beautiful. Okay, so
Thank you.
you've got this lovely voice, and it sounded very like I heard almost like dark, narrow shapes happening there. So I want you to say the words for me. I heard there was a secret chord.
I heard there was a secret chord.
Oh, lovely. Okay, say I heard there was a secret chord.
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 Okay, now sing it closer to how you'd say it. I heard there was. Try it.
I heard there was a secret chord.
Good. Okay, now we're going to add the next line, and there's one more thing I want you to do. When you sing the words that have R's in them, try to relax the tongue. So for those of you who are not grossed out by this, you can take your finger, place it on top of your tongue, and say R. And you're going to feel your tongue goes whoop. And it's like all of the sound needs to come out of your mouth, but the tongue on the R comes up and it makes the sound kind of go her. It stops it. So I want you to try. I heard there was a secret chord instead of chord that David played and it pleased the Lord. Try that.
I heard there was a secret chord that David played and it pleased the Lord.
Yeah, but you don't really care for instead of for music, do ya?
But you don't really care for music, do ya?
That was beautiful. Let's bring it up to you don't start there.
You don't.
Yeah, that was awesome. So what would you say? You've got a beautiful voice. What would you say your number one struggle is as a singer?
I would say really one of my struggles is hearing my voice played back, like on audio.
Okay, we're going to talk about that. All right, thank you for being a volunteer. We're going to move you off the screen, but we need to talk about this because this is important. Singers, one of the most powerful weapons in your arsenal is recording yourself and listening back. And I don't know a single person who hears themselves back on a recording and is like, dang, I sound good. That's not how it works. But you have to. This is your number one tool. You will listen, you will get used to it, and you will be able to make judgments about what you like and maybe don't like and then adjust. When you sing, you feel it in your body. All those sympathetic resonances are happening. You feel your sound. When you hear it back, you're hearing yourself without the experience of the physicality of it, and that's why it sounds foreign, because it's not happening in here anymore. It's just coming through your ears. And it takes getting used to. So everybody, if you do one thing for me after this, other than your exercises, you record yourself and listen back. And just offer yourself love, because it's hard to do at first. But the more you do it, the easier it gets, I promise. Yes, I tell this story all the time. So I was in the studio recording vocals, and my producer, I thought everything was going great. And I stuck around, my producer's editing my vocals, because this is what you do. Like, when you hear music on the radio, the singer didn't just show up and sing and go home. Somebody did a lot of stuff to that vocal. Even the best singers. So he's tuning my vocals, and I'm hearing my voice without any effects, any reverb, any pitch correction. I was like, I will never sing again. I am humiliated. I'm embarrassed. I've been disillusioned my whole life. I thought I could sing. I cried. And he's like, Lise, I never let people listen to their raw vocal. It's jarring. You're amazing. Don't worry about it. Sure enough, he worked his magic and it was beautiful. But this is something to keep in mind. You guys got to be prepared for that. Peggy, in live concerts, often if you see a microphone, it can actually still go through effects. So you're usually still hearing some kind of effects on the voice through the speakers, if it's not pre-recorded, which is also unfortunately very common. Okay, so Lisa's now distracted, so that's a thing. Oh, yeah, we're working on singing. Okay, I need another singer. I'm gonna grab Andres. Okay, Andres, we need a male representation here, so we're gonna listen and we're gonna hear what's going on.
Hello.
How are ya?
I'm doing good.
Okay, so how do you?
Terrible camera quality.
What?
Sorry for the terrible camera quality.
No, this is
my
great.
computer.
This is great. We got to work with what we got, right? We're all at home or somewhere. Okay,
Yeah.
so Can you just sing me a thing? Just sing me a line of anything you'd like.
Just go with the one that you guys were thinking.
Nice.
I heard there was a secret chord that David played and it pleased the Lord. I don't know the rest.
That was really good. That was a great start. Okay, so what I need you to do is I need you to get your, can you bubble? Good, okay. So what I heard in that performance was like a little bit of this like in and out. And that's very common. Number one, you're singing in front of like, how many people? 157 people that they're all watching you. It's kind of stressful. So
I've played in a band before and I've played in concerts.
yes.
And it's always difficult when there's a lot more people. The biggest show I played was at the fair in my town.
Yeah.
So it was quite stressful.
It is. So you got to practice that feeling. This is what Singeo is all about. We have a whole community of singers that we can share our voices with. So, and safely. So I want you to try this. Go for it. Awesome. So your phone's adjusting the audio a little bit. So I can't hear it super clearly, but for everybody listening, step one would be to sing that song or any song you're working on the bubble to smooth things out. Step two is your pitch moved a little bit on the second half of the line. So what I want you to do, just do that for me. Hold on. Just that. So what's happening here is we're coming off the pitches just a little bit. And who here has struggled with pitch before? Many of us. Okay, so pitch is one of those things that's really difficult, especially if you don't have an instrument behind you. So I'm gonna give some tips for this. Number one, you wanna try whenever possible to sing along with the recording or the melody present so you can follow it. Number two, you have to be able to hear yourself. So for some people, it's helpful, plug one ear for me. And we're just gonna do this. We're gonna go, Can you do that? So we're gonna start a little higher. I'm gonna sing this an octave up. It's gonna sound weird, but yes. So we found it. We got a little higher there. Do it again.
No.
That's too high. Come down. You went a little bit lower than you needed to, but your starting point was really, really good. So this is one of the things that you're gonna wanna work on. So record yourself and listen back. Short staccato exercises like that ugly are gonna help you to build muscle memory on the different pitches so that you're able to access them more accurately. So this was really, really good. I'm really glad that we called you in because this is like, you've got a lovely sounding voice. Pitch is something that you're gonna wanna work on, and the way we do that is through listening and working on the muscle coordination aspect here. Okay, so thank you so much for volunteering. Now, anybody else that's ever struggled with pitch, we have a quick tip inside Singeo where we talk a little bit about that, but basically if you download like a free guitar tuning app, you can play a note like on a piano and then see if you can match it. So I know this is F, and my tuner, I have one called pitch, literally P-I-T-C-H, pitch. So I play that and I would try to sing it back, and then I'd look at my app and be like, ooh, is it there? Did I get to the F that I see here? And that's how you can measure it. And another thing that's really helpful for working on pitch is just being in control of your voice by sliding it around. Ooh. Now, I might play this note, the C, and I might go, ooh, slide until I can kind of find it. So I come from the top and work down. So those are really helpful little techniques that you can use to work on and develop your pitch. Yeah, that was awesome. Thank you so much for volunteering, Andres. That was really, really great. Okay, so there's a couple of things that we can look at. Now I want to I'm gonna grab one more of you here. I need one more volunteer. Sandy, let's bring you in. Sandy, it's your time. No guts, no glory. That's the best attitude ever. Hi, Sandy. Oh, I can't hear you yet. I can't hear Sandy. Is it Sandy? Is it us? Are you muted, Sandy? Oh. Check. No, you're not muted. Are your headphones plugged into your device that you're watching us on? Maybe try using, are you on a phone? No. It's okay. We'll try again. Okay. Heather. Let's try Heather. I'm just gonna sing Twinkle, Twinkle. This is my like ultimate waiting room music while we wait for Heather. I used to be a puller. I'd be like really shouty, but we'll talk about that later. Heather's here. Hi, Heather.
Hi.
How are
Hi.
you? How's it going?
I'm good, thanks.
So, I want to dive into your voice a little bit. Can you sing me a line of something?
Sure. And I get really nervous. So.
Oh, you know what? That's perfect. I get really nervous too. Nobody believes me, but I really, really can understand that experience for you. I'm really impressed that you're here, and thanks for being so brave.
Okay. Can you start me on the Hallelujah?
Yeah. I heard there was.
I heard there was. I'm so nervous. Sorry.
You're so great. You started out on the perfect notes. So that's a step in the right direction. Beautiful. I'm going to sing the first little bit for you. I heard there was a secret chord. Just give me that.
I heard there was a secret chord.
That was beautiful. Okay, so what I hear is a beautiful voice that we can add a little more power to, and we can do it really simply. And one of my favorite ways to do this, any guesses, Singeo members? I want you to make this so ugly. The ugliest you've ever sang. Nasty, ugly, go for it.
Me?
Yeah, you. Good. You can pause there. Okay. Do this to me. Say bup. Just say the word B-U-P, bup.
Bup.
Good. Bup, 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 bup. Sing it like you'd say it.
Bup, 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 bup.
There's your chest voice. That was awesome. Do it this time with the word gug. G-U-G. Gug, 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 gug.
Gug, 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 gug. Gug, 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 gug.
You did it. You've got a great sense of pitch. You've got a great awareness of your voice. So we're a little bit light, probably because we're nervous. And so exercises that are going to help you are going to be slightly more aggressive ones like gug or bup, and approaching your songs more like you would say them. So when we sing, friends, often we're like, here's my speaking voice. Here's my singing voice. Singing is just sustained speech. That's it. So we're going to do the hey exercise together. So we did this a little bit earlier, but I want you to say hey just like we're just chatting like hey.
Hey.
Great. Okay. Now, if there's like a child or a pet in your house that's irritating, a little bit louder. Hey.
Hey.
Great. Now somebody's in trouble. Hey.
Hey.
Whoa. Okay. Now let's do this. Okay. Get ready for this. We're going to go same energy, but we're going to hang on to the note. Hey.
Hey.
Okay, friends, you just found your belt. That was fabulous. That was so good. I'm so impressed. So for you, if you were inside Singeo, I would highly recommend doing the routine for no chest voice. Not that you don't have it, but it'll give you exercises that will help you to strengthen your voice. If you're not inside the Singeo membership, you can use the scales we send you. I want you to sing ah, and I want you to sing gug on those scales. Also, you have a beautiful voice, and you're so brave. Good job. That's so fun. Isn't this so fun? Like this is why I wanted to become a vocal coach. Because, you know, for me personally, I've always been very shy and very, very, maybe insecure is the right word. Like just never quite feeling good enough, you know, imposter syndrome. And so what I noticed about the world of singing, you know, looking even at American Idol as like an early reference is that it's not kind. Like, it's culturally appropriate to completely insult somebody's singing voice. And I just don't think that's right. So what I hoped to create with Singeo was a place where people could share their voices and their process, their journey from here's where I am today and here's where I'm going, and it be safe. And, you know, we've got forums where our members post videos. We've got weekly live events that we just hang out and talk about how the voice works. We have our students can send in videos of them singing, and then we review them and give feedback and exercises based on what we've heard, and all of it is supportive. So if we didn't have time to get to your voice today, that's all part of the Singeo membership. I think we have there's a sale happening starting tomorrow, but do we have a code? Yeah, we've got a little coupon code just for you guys today. That'll give you 25% off, I think. So it's $97 for a year of Singeo access. And I just want to put that into perspective. When I was taking voice lessons, most voice lessons from a qualified coach, you're looking at about $100 an hour is average. The most I paid for a voice lesson was $300 for an hour. It was a really good voice lesson, but that's so much money. It's so expensive. And so that was the other thing that got me really excited about the Singeo is it's, $97 is an entire year, and you'll get exercises. You can get instructor feedback. You have the entire community to be your cheerleaders. We have all the courses, we have a method, which is just lesson and lesson and lesson and lesson about what your voice is, how it works. We have a whole course, a course from my vocal coach actually, on the vowel chart and how it works and how you can navigate your range effortlessly. And today what we've done is really just sort of begun. I would like to take one more of you just to do some demonstrating on. Zolita, would you like to pop in? I'd love to hear you sing and just work with you for a moment, and then I'll take a couple questions before we have to go. So Julia's gonna work on, I like the hydration. Okay, while we're waiting for Zolita, we're gonna have a fun trivia moment, and Singeo members, you're not allowed commenting.
We're also gifting 3 members.
Oh yeah, we're giving some stuff away too. Okay, I won't forget. Trivia, Zolita, prizes, questions. Okay, so the trivia is, how long does it take the water you drink to hydrate your vocal cords? Any guesses? Oh, Dante knew. 4 hours at least. When you drink, nothing you drink or eat actually touches your vocal cords. That would be crazy. That means it would be passing through your vocal cords and into your windpipes. So when you drink, it actually has to go through your whole system. A hydrated human has hydrated vocal cords, and hydration takes hours. So if you're I'm gonna sing, this might help clear some of the gunk, but it's not gonna hydrate your voice. Okay, all right, are we ready for Zolita? Hello.
Hi, how are you doing?
I am great, how are you?
I like to write songs.
You
which
write
means-
songs.
Yes, which means that of course I write it in Spanish and then I do it in English.
Nice.
But this song that I made the last month, I made a song in English. I made it in English. And I titled, I Believe in Myself.
Oh, I love that.
Mhm. I know I have to improve my voice and do things because like you said, you don't like your voice because that needs tone, it needs more, all this decoration of the voice that should be. Yeah.
Would you sing maybe the chorus of your song for us?
Yes, I'm going to sing it. Yeah. I don't like to live with regrets. I want to believe in myself. What could happen, how things should be. The school or job, no regrets for me. I can change my past, but I can't make sure I don't live with regrets anymore, because I believe in myself, because I believe in myself. Thanks God for good people like you. Gives me the chance to believe in myself. So joyful I'm singing this song that comes from inside of me. I know I can make it someday. If no worry, I am so happy, and that's enough for me, because I believe in myself. No matter what some people will say, I will always believe in myself. I cannot wait to scream out loud, I made it. Thanks God for good people like you. That makes me believe in myself. Thanks God for good people like you. That makes me believe in myself. Thanks God for good people like you.
Oh my goodness, thank you so much for that. Okay, I'm like tearing up. The chat, everybody's so blessed by your song. That was so beautiful. Thank you for that.
I put it in YouTube already.
Share the link for us so that we can go watch it later.
Soy Little Lester video. That's all. It's the same thing.
It's beautiful.
And I keep doing songs in Spanish and put in Spanish, in English, and all that. And last year, my husband was 21 years of my husband's passing.
Oh.
And I made a song in English and in Spanish, and it's titled My Angel from Heaven.
That's a beautiful tribute. Thank you for sharing.
Yes. And it is a little bit sad because it's the
course.
occasion. Yeah.
Well,
And like I said, in YouTube, I am Soy Little Lester videos. And I'm there dancing, jumping, all that. I do it all.
Awesome. Okay, so there we go. We had our final performance from Solita. Go find her on YouTube. And I will say that, all of the technical things aside, singing from the heart is what makes a great singer. So you can do all the studying, all the exercises, all of the things, but it's singing from the heart that makes a great singer. And, any great singer will tell you the same thing. So thank you for sharing that with Zolita. So I've got a couple of prizes for you guys. We're actually giving away a few Singeo memberships, 3-month memberships. So if you're not a Singeo member, I'm just gonna pick a random one. I'm gonna give a 3-month membership to Russell Porosky. Did I say your last name right, Russell? Yes. Okay, Russell, 3 months for you, my friend. How does he get it?
Email me.
Email Julia. She'll put her email address in the chat for you. Julia@singeo.com. The next person who's gonna win a 3-month membership needs to type me something. So I want you to tell me your favorite song. Okay, it's moving so fast. Nicole Labonte, smile. And I'm also going to guess. So Nicole, make sure you email Julia. And the third one is going to go to the first person who smiles. Okay, so we've got Malik. Did I say your name right, Malik? Yeah. Email Julia@singeo.com and we'll get you your 3-month membership. Okay, so did we put the discount code in the chat?
Yeah, I can put it again.
Put it again. Friends, thank you for being here. Did anybody learn anything? Yeah, maybe a little bit. Okay, I'm seeing some thumbs up. Good, I'm seeing yes in the chat. Singing is a journey. There's these things that you can do that will give you quick, fast results. And then there are things that need to be done over and over again. So the first time I went to the gym, which was shockingly recently, I was really brave and I went to the gym and I got a trainer. I'm like, I'm gonna learn how to do this. And she's like, okay, pick these weights up. And I was like, what? And they're 8 pounds. She's like, okay, do these curls with these 8 pounds. And I was like, oh, this is so heavy. And my form was terrible and everything about the situation was bad. And 3 years later, I can promise you I'm picking up a lot more than 30 pounds. 30, not a lot more. Okay, I'm picking up 30 pounds easily, a lot more than 8 pounds. So this is the power of practice, of consistency, of showing up, of understanding this is a muscle and muscles can be developed. You can stretch, you can relax, you can build. Obviously, we don't want to do anything. It's not the same. You're not like trying to you don't want to tear your voice. That's bad. But you do have the ability to build it up slowly, gradually over time using resistance. And that's what singing exercises do and are designed to do. Yes, you can learn that you can relax your vocal cords using exercises. Dustin, I'm glad you got the subscription. I look forward to you, sharing your voice with us. If any of you didn't get feedback on your voice and you specifically wanted it, you can definitely get that in the membership. You just take a video on your phone and you can upload it to YouTube privately and then share the link through a student review form. Yeah. Michael, you're very funny. Michael is a Singeo member and he's very funny. Are there any questions that I can answer for you guys before we go today? Throw them in the chat. Mini lesson on the bridge of Hallelujah while I wait for your questions. It goes like this. You only care for music, do you? Well, it goes like this. The fourth, the fifth, the minor fall. The word fall there. A lot of people tighten up. And the major lift, the baffled can compose and hallelujah. It's a really high note. One of the ways that you can work on that is by really relaxing your tongue down and forward. The baffled can compose and, not composing, no, composing, hallelujah. That's like magic right there. Hot tip for you guys before we go. How do you break through the anxiety of singing in front of others? You might not. Nerves are just misinterpreted excitement. So one of the things I've always done, so if you're here, I'm going to assume you like singing. Like, does anybody, do you guys love to sing? Right? Like, I love to sing. Like, I love it so much. So when I get on that stage and there is an audience, I just go back to that love. Like, I am doing this because it's literally who I am and part of my soul. Like, I can't exist without doing this. And then this warm feeling washes over me and the nerves are still there. But that feeling of this is what I want to do is bigger and it helps me to get through my performance. And you can practice that feeling of being nervous. Go somewhere that makes you nervous. Do your vocal exercises. Do your singing. Be mindful of how to relax, warm up, make sure that you're ready. But practice in environments that put that stress, that pressure on a little bit. Nothing more stressful than singing for your family. So find some family or friends to sing for. And you can practice that in Singeo too by sharing your videos for our student reviews. Yeah. 14 hours straight in the car is a lot of singing, Michael. We have a whole course on Singeo, on harmony specifically, and it's amazing. It's in level 9, so good. Smules there, we've got Singeo Fam and Smule. A lot of our students enjoy that. There is a lifetime membership, Terry. Are we doing that?
Yeah, actually, we never have it on, and we're going to have it in this sale by the end of the week.
We're going to send you an email tomorrow that has links. We never do lifetime memberships. We're doing one for Singeo. What? Gunk out of throat. Okay, so if you're really... Dairy is usually a culprit, so just be mindful that dairy products can kind of make you feel gunky. Be well hydrated. It's just every day you got to be hydrated. And then there's something called a vocal mist. It's like a nebulizer, and you can breathe in a saline solution, and that can really help to clear that up. Just Google vocal mist. All right, friends, that is a wrap. I have loved seeing your faces. I have loved spending this time with you. Come hang out with us in the Singeo membership. If that's something that you're ready for, if you want to keep working on your voice, take it to the next level, join these amazing friends here. And stay in touch. We're going to email you those links for the sale tomorrow. We got the 25% one in the chat. Stay in touch. thank you for being here, for putting your time into this. I feel very honored. And I'm sad to go, but just remember the beautiful song that Zalita sang us. Believe in yourself. And we'll see you guys around.